Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a bit different. We usually look at the big picture, right? Grand historical events.
Yeah, the sweeping narratives.
Exactly. But today we're zooming right in, focusing on one single, powerful human story. We've got this stack of local newspaper clippings, an obituary too, very moving.
Mm.
And from these, well, seemingly small fragments, we're going to piece together the life, the really vibrant life and ultimate sacrifice of Lieutenant George Springer III,
Mm.
a young man from Kansas, World War II.
It's a great way to approach it because focusing on one person helps you understand how these huge global events, like a world war, really shaped individual lives, individual destinies.
Totally. So our mission today is to trace his path, figure out what his dreams were, understand his service, and really feel the impact his loss had on his family, his community.
And these sources, they're like a mosaic, as you said, little pieces fitting together. They let us see not just the facts of the war, but the specific journey of this young man.
Right.
From like small town ambitions to the skies over Europe. It's a pretty rare window into what it meant to be a young American hero back then.
It really is. And the sources themselves are fascinating. We've got local papers, the Courier Tribune, the Sabitha Herald, articles from 43 through 45.
A crucial period.
Yeah, but maybe the most poignant piece is from his own high school paper, The Optimist, an obituary.
Yeah.
It's such an intimate look. These aren't just reports. They feel like echoes of a real life.
Definitely.
Okay, so with that mission set, let's step back. Back to the 1920s. Meet George Springer III as a kid, born in St. Joseph, Missouri in 1923. Moved with his family to Seneca, Kansas in 1927. And right away, these articles paint this picture of a really exceptional young guy already making waves.
Even as a teenager.
Absolutely. He graduated St. Peter and Paul High School in 41. And even then, clearly a standout. The papers call him a general favorite and leader, involved in, well, pretty much everything.
Like what specifically?
Okay, so music. Orchestra manager, drumming since he was 15. Sports, lettered in basketball. Academics, big part of the debate team, helped them win a district award that, get this, is apparently still in the school library today.
Wow, that's incredible. A lasting legacy right there.
Isn't it? And he didn't stop there. Worked on the school paper, The Optimist, entered this diocesan apologetics contest.
Which is about defending religious beliefs, yeah.
Right. Won an essay contest in 1940. Was prefect of the sodality, that's a Catholic lay group, just, involved.
You get a real sense of his character, principled, driven.
Totally. And his plans were clear. Finished pre-law at Creighton University in Omaha. He started there in fall 41. Then sights set on Harvard, a future as a lawyer.
Ambitious.
Very. And he's also a member of the Knights of Columbus in Seneca. Just a well-rounded, active young man.
Then what strikes me here, reading these details, is how specific it all is. Creighton, then Harvard, debate and drumming. It makes the future that was lost so much more, well, tangible. You know, national stories often talk about lost potential in kind of abstract terms, statistics. But these local clippings, they force you to see the specific dreams that didn't happen. It makes it deeply personal.
That's a great point. And it makes his next choice even more significant. He's in his second year at Creighton, this promising path laid out.
And then the war intervenes.
Exactly. February 1943. He decides to enlist, joins the Army Air Corps. And it wasn't just him heading off alone. No, the send-off sounds quite significant. There was a drive to Hiawatha, then Omaha. His parents were there, George Jr. and his wife, his sister Margaret, brother Bill. Even close family friends, the McInernys.
It's a real community moment.
Seems like it. And there's his family history angle, too. His father, George Springer Jr., he was a veteran himself. Served in World War I, first lieutenant, later a major in the field artillery in France.
Okay. That definitely adds another layer, doesn't it? Knowing his father served, maybe a sense of duty, tradition.
Could be. It certainly highlights how deeply the war touched everyone, even families with prior service. It wasn't some distant thing. It was a very personal choice these young people were making.
Right, and you really see the immediate disruption. Promising studies put on hold, a future completely reshaped by these huge global events. It personalizes that choice that so many thousands made.
Absolutely. So once he's enlisted, the training begins. And it sounds like a real whirlwind, cross-country journey, rapid pace, all geared towards making him a fighter pilot.
The speed was incredible back then. They needed pilots fast.
You could really see it tracking his locations. By July 43, just months after enlisting, he's in Santa Ana, California.
Okay.
Then quickly off to Wickenburg, Arizona by September 43. dry, dusty training grounds there.
Mm-hmm. Different environments.
Then, April 17, 1944. Huge milestone. He finishes training as a single-engine fighter pilot, graduates in Phoenix, gets his wings, commissioned as a second lieutenant.
That must have been an incredible moment.
And imagine that it was the first time his parents had seen him in 14 months.
14 months. Wow. The pace and distance.
Incredible. He got a 15-day leave, rushed back to Seneca, saw his family. His brother William, who was at Creighton then, came home too.
That must have been precious time.
Absolutely. And get this detail. While he was home, May 1st, 1944, he actually went to a Rotary meeting in Seneca.
Really? What did he talk about?
Shared a few items regarding his training, apparently. Said he'd just finished pilot training in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Then he was heading back to Phoenix for operation training and assignment.
Okay, so the training wasn't quite done yet. More specialized phases.
Exactly.
Huh?
And by May 8th, just a week later, his address is listed as Harding Field, Baton Rouge. 72nd Fighter Wing, indoctrination flight. It shows this constant movement, different stages, incredibly intense.
That sequence, all those different locations and assignments, it really does spotlight the pressure of becoming a WWI pilot. It wasn't one school. It was this rapid-fire progression, specialized stage after specialized stage, all designed to get these young men ready incredibly quickly for combat. And those short leaves, like George's 15 days, more than just a break, right? Absolutely vital for family connection, for morale, especially with everything so uncertain.
Definitely keeps the human element in focus amidst this huge military machine.
Exactly.
So, after that whirlwind training, that precious leave, George was heading for Europe. August 1944, he ships out for overseas combat duty. Straight into the thick of it.
Right into the European theater.
And by September 11th, less than a month later, he's riding home to his parents from a base in England. He's there, he's overseas.
Stationed in England, the staging ground.
And he's flying a P-47 Thunderbolt.
Ah, the Jug. A workhorse.
Yeah, powerful, rugged fighter bomber. Known for ground attacks, too. Definitely high-stakes missions he'd be flying.
Absolutely. Flying a Thunderbolt meant you were right in the mix.
And the clippings give us little updates on the family back home, too. His dad, George Jr., sometimes referred to as Major Springer, suggesting he was still involved, maybe promoted since WWI.
Interesting detail. Shows the ongoing military connection.
And his younger brother, William, one source says he's a cadet at West Point. Another later says he's a senior at Kansas State University, doing really well, ranked 5th in his class.
Slight discrepancy there.
Yeah, maybe just the rapid flow of info, things changing quickly during wartime. Or just newspaper reporting.
Could be. It happens. It does hint at that fluidity, though. Lives were changing course so fast then. Education, service paths, everything could pivot.
And his sister, Mary Margaret, was in high school, then later mentioned as becoming a student nurse. So the whole family really involved in service or dealing with the era's demands.
It paints that picture, yeah. An entire family navigating the war years. And being assigned to the P-47 in England, that puts him right at the forefront of the air war over the continent. Crucial stuff.
It does, which brings us to the next part of the story.
Yeah.
And this is where it takes a really somber, heartbreaking turn. October 17th, 1944, just about 2 months after he arrived overseas. Tragedy strikes. But the news, as it so often did, took time to travel home.
The dreaded delay.
Yeah. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. George Springer Jr., they got the message on Friday, November 10th. It was reported in the paper on the 13th.
Almost a month later.
Nearly. The message came via the Adjutant General, Ulio, the official channel for these terrible notifications.
The War Department telegram. Every family feared it.
And the news was devastating. Their older son, Lieutenant George Springer III, reported missing in action over France since October 17th.
Missing in action. Such a heavy phrase.
He was just 21 years old. His squadron, the report noted, was active in supporting ground troops moving across France at that time.
Right in the thick of the fighting after D-Day.
And this detail just... it gets you. The last letter his parents got from him, written on October 17th.
The very day he disappeared. Oh, that's brutal.
Isn't it?
That phrase, reported missing, it carried such immense weight. More than just the words. It plunged families into this agonizing uncertainty. A terrible limbo caught between hope and, well, dread.
Yeah.
And knowing his last letter was dated that same day, it just highlights the shocking suddenness of it all. How final things could be on the front lines, even while news traveled so slowly, so painfully back home. It really personalizes the psychological toll of waiting.
That agonizing wait finally did end for the Springers. But It was with the news they must have feared most.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, March 13th, 1945. The official confirmation arrived from the War Department.
So confirmation of.
Confirmation that George Springer III was killed in action back on October 17th, 1944.
Okay, so the missing status changed to killed in action.
Yes, and the report actually came via a complex route relayed from the German government through the International Red Cross.
Wow. Even between enemies, that channel existed for casualty information. It's kind of remarkable.
It is. The details were specific. He was on a dive bombing mission, southeastern France, about 7 miles northwest of Basel, Switzerland.
Right near the border there.
His plane, the P-47, just disappeared after the squadron ran into hostile aircraft. He was never heard from again.
So, likely shot down during that engagement.
Seems the most likely scenario. He'd been in service just over 18 months, overseas for less than 2.
Such a short time in combat.
Terribly short. The community in Seneca, as you can imagine, mourned him deeply. They held a memorial mass on October 1st, 1945, at St. Peter and Paul Church.
A formal remembrance.
Yes, attended by so many people. Friends, acquaintances, all the organizations he belonged to, the American Legion Post, Knights of Columbus, Boy Scouts.
The whole community coming together.
Father Matthew Hall gave the sermon, paid tribute to the life of the fine young man who made the supreme sacrifice for world freedom. Then, after the Mass, the Legionnaires held a service on the church lawn. Firing squad, color guards,
The military honors.
and the presentation of the American flag to Mrs. Springer. The school chorus sang America, then taps. Just incredibly moving.
Absolutely, a powerful tribute.
And his high school paper, The Optimist, that obituary we mentioned, the headline was, Springer Comes Home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not to start his law career, it said, but to receive the reverent tribute of his hometown. 8 of his high school classmates, also in uniform, served as pallbearers.
His own generation also serving. That's poignant.
It really is. He was remembered, the obituary said, as someone whose genial way brightened so much in the school halls, and whose example showed what one can do who makes the effort.
That final message coming through the Red Cross, it brings that painful closure. But it also just solidifies the immense personal cost of the war. The specific details, the mission, the location, make his sacrifice so tangible, so real. And that outpouring of community support, the Mass, the school's remembrance, it just hammers home that these weren't numbers. These were cherished people, sons, brothers, friends. Their loss echoed deeply, and their legacy clearly inspired others. It shows you how a community processes that kind of grief together, how they honor their own.
It really does. What a journey we've taken just through these few sources. From George Springer III's really bright youth, those big dreams of law school.
Yeah, Harvard on the horizon.
To his service, and then that ultimate sacrifice in France. His story, pieced together from these local echoes, it's such a powerful reminder. Behind the big historical events, there are always countless individual lives, each one with dreams, challenges, and a profound impact.
Absolutely. George Springer III's life, tragically short as it was, it stands as this powerful testament, doesn't it, to ambition, to that sense of civic duty, and also to the strength of a community facing loss.
It really does.
And it also shows how valuable these local records are. Newspaper clippings, school papers, they give us this incredibly rich, granular detail. They connect us directly, intimately to the past, in a way sometimes the big history books can't quite manage.
That's so true. And as we think about George Springer III, this young man who loved debate, loved music, dreamed of being a lawyer, it just makes you pause, doesn't it? It makes you wonder, what other unfinished symphonies, what potential, what talents did the world lose in the millions of lives cut short during that era?
Yeah.
Not just the supreme sacrifices, but all those interrupted futures.
Yeah.
And maybe what responsibilities do we have today to make sure their stories, like George's, are remembered, that their aspirations, however brief, are somehow considered and honored?